Hey friends, attorney Kyle Newman here with the best tips and insights for injured New Yorkers. And in this video, I wanted to tackle a question that comes up really all the time, especially at the end of my clients' cases, and that is my personal injury settlement taxable? And to answer that question, I'm first gonna ask you to just hit that subscribe button, and just so you know how serious I am, as an added bonus, I'll give you the absolute best way to maximize your personal injury settlement tax-free. All you got to do is watch this till the end. So here in New York, if you were injured as a result of the negligent act of another person or entity, and that really could be any type of accident you could think of, a car accident, a trip and fall, an act of medical malpractice, you can actually sue that responsible party for money damages in the civil courts of New York. And depending on the nature of the case and the parties involved, that claim can either be brought in state or federal court. And regardless of where the claim is brought, if it's a lawsuit for personal injuries, the first question clients will ask when it's time for settlement is, but what about taxes, Mr. Newman? Is this considered income? How do I deal with the IRS? Oh my God, I'm stressed out. But have no fear. Personal injury lawsuits and their settlements are not taxable in New York. You heard me, no tax, no reporting to the IRS, nothing. You settle your case, the check you get from that settlement, you just pop it in the bank, and that's it. And because financial settlements are used to compensate injury victims, the types of compensation that injury victims sue for is not taxable. And this includes damages, things like pain and suffering, lost wages, medical bills, doctor and hospital visits, medication, physical therapy, and emotional distress related to that injury. And in my experience, the only type of personal injury settlement that will be taxable, at least here in New York, is when punitive damages are awarded, which are only granted in the rarest of circumstances in order to punish defendants for wanton or reckless conduct that far and away exceeds any normal negligence standards that us personal injury attorneys live by. And in my career, I've honestly never gotten punitive damages awarded, even though a few times I got close. And look, if you're getting a large settlement that's meant to support you and your family due to some type of serious injury, you can actually take advantage of this non-taxation of settlement funds here in New York in a way that's frankly obscene, and you never get to do this in the real world. And this right here is the bonus I was telling you about. So thank you so much for making it here. And since you did, let's celebrate by hitting that subscribe button. So one of the things that we do when we get a large settlement for a seriously injured client is to set up something called a structured settlement, which I'm sure many of you have heard of. But a structured settlement is a type of annuity where we take a large sum of money, either all of it or part of it, and use it to purchase this annuity with an annuity company like Berkshire Hathaway, AIG, New York Life, or many other AAA rated companies that specialize in this sort of thing. And what that does is amazing, because instead of a client getting one lump sum, they can actually get payments spread out for months, years, or even for the rest of their life. And because you'll be getting interest on that annuity, you can actually take your initial settlement money and through that structured settlement, turn it into a whole lot more over the course of time. And how much more really depends on how long you set up the structure, how many payments and how frequently you want them to be made, and also the age of the person who's receiving the payments. But wait a second, you haven't heard the best part yet. Because those payments you would get from a structured settlement are still settlement money from that personal injury settlement, that money is also not going to be taxable. So all that additional money you can make over the course of time due to interest that's applied to that annuity, that can mean hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars over the course of someone's lifetime that, yes, will not be taxable either. Plus, you're guaranteed that income over that time while the annuity pays out. It's a great thing. But of course, like with everything good, there's a catch. And it's really no big deal, but you just can't mess it up, particularly in the beginning. Now, the only catch is that if you're interested in the structured settlement, which again is where you take all or part of your cash settlement and purchase an annuity with it. If you want to do this, the only way you can is before the case is officially closed. And this is because the insurance company of the entity that you sued, and not you, has to be the one that purchases the annuity as part of the settlement of the case and not afterwards. Let me give you an example. If you got a settlement for a car accident and you took that money from the lawyer, you put it in your bank, and then you went out and purchased an annuity the next day on your own, you would have to pay taxes on that annuity. But if the insurance company of the defendant you sued purchases that same annuity as part of the settlement of the case, you're good to go. And any payments you get from that structured settlement are going to be 100% tax-free so long as it's done as part of the settlement. So not only can the IRS not tax your personal injury settlement so long as punitive damages aren't involved, but also any structured settlements you set up through those proceeds, so long as it's set up and funded by the defendant's insurance company before the case is closed, you can take that initial sum of tax-free money and make even more tax-free money, potentially for the rest of your life, which to me is pretty damn cool. And look, even though my law firm, we don't make any more money for setting up these structured settlements, and it doesn't cost you anything to do it, and it's a lot of extra work for us, it's something that we absolutely love to do. Because we know that we have a client who's catastrophically injured, maybe it's a small child who was brain damaged at birth, they're going to have tremendous needs throughout the course of their life. We're going to know that through that structure, they're going to be taken care of tax-free going forward for as long as we set it up, usually for the rest of their life. It's just an amazing thing. So look, structured settlements and tax issues can be a little confusing, especially if you've never gone through this process before, and you should always discuss this stuff with your attorney. But hey, since I happen to be one, you can always reach out to me with questions here, or just hit that like button and leave a comment and I'll get right back to you. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you soon.